Good day, everyone. I am Joyce Rivas, and our topic for today is Greek culture. The Western civilization owes much to ancient Greek. So, the Greek were the first people to develop the ideas and political liberty and democratic government. They also made extraordinary achievement in arts, literature, science, and philosophy. So, in this field, they set standards for later Western civilization. So, the Greek placed a high value on individual excellence. Greek poets, playwrights, and historians wrote enduring masterpieces. Artists and architects created simple and beautiful styles that continue to serve as models. Greek thinkers possess a tremendous curiosity about their world and people's place in it. So they question and analyze everything from nature to government to the meaning of life. So in examining this question, Greek thinkers search for answers based on reasons, facts, and logic. With that, they develop open methods and ways of thinking that are the foundation of modern science and philosophy. In this chapter, we will discuss the achievements that ancient Greeks made in art and literature under development of philosophy and scientific thought. Art and literature flourished in Greece. The ideal of democratic government that developed in Athens are one important part of our heritage from ancient Greece. Western traditions in arts, architecture, and literature also began with a brilliant achievement made in Greece in the Golden Age. What Pericles said of Athens 2,400 years ago was in fact true. Future age will wonder at us as the present age wonder now. The Greek admires and encourage the development of many different talents. To lead a full life, they said a person should be able to discuss philosophy, understand mathematics, appreciate arts, participate in civic affairs, and stay in good physical condition. At the same time, they expected each person to strive to do everything according to high standards of excellence. The Greek had confidence that human beings could achieve great things. The Greek ideal of excellence demanded intelligence, efforts, and self-discipline. This was true for statesmen, soldier, or artisan, or any other citizen. The Greeks felt that people should use their reason to control their emotions. They admired a life full of moderation, of balance between extremes. Poets expressed the Greek ideals. Poetry played an important part in expressing the Greek views of life. Homer's epics were basic parts of a Greek upbringing. These poems were vividly showed people striving to live up to standards of courage and honor. Poets developed into drama. Greek poetry was an important part of religious festivals. Dancers and singers took part and poems were clarified, were chanted by the group of performers called the chorus. These performers gradually developed into play. In the last part of the 6th century BC, an actor named Thespis stepped away from the chorus and spoke back and forth with the chorus. That was what happened. Early Greek dramatists write tragedies. The early Greek dramas were based on old stories of gods and heroes. Playwrights used these stories to explore human problems. They showed the dignity of heroes in the face of trouble, and demonstrated how noble men and women could be. The play that they wrote were called tragedies. the Greek theater. So, the actor Thespis, who introduced spoken dialogue, also began the traditions of wearing masks on stage. So, this new style of mask let the audience know how immediately whether a character was good or evil, happy or grief-stricken, male or female. So the mask fitted over the actor's head like a large helmet, making him taller to look even more expressive. The actors playing goods or heroes also wore thick-soled boots and padded costumes. So the members of the chorus, which commented on the action, were barefoot, so that they could move and dance. So the playwrights also write comedies. Greek playwrights could also be light-hearted and witty. So Greek comedies were mostly about politics and current events. So the comic dramatist Aristophanes made fun of Athenian politicians generally. So philosophers and other playwrights. So the Greek developed a new approach in history. So another important form of Greek literature was treating of history. So the Greek historians were first to examine the past with critical eye. So they carefully investigated events, checked facts, and tried to understand people's action and motives. So Herodotus, traditionally called the father of history, was born about 484 BC. Herodotus often included ancient stories and legends in his account, but he also made his investigation of recent events. So he traveled widely in the Near East and Egypt, writing a colorful description of people and places. So the Greek are outstanding artists and architects. Like Greek literatures, Greek arts and architecture provide models that are still followed today. So the Greek painters showed human beings as ideally beautiful. Status of athletes had well developed and well proportioned. So bodies, while the faces of men and women were shown with perfect literature. Even Olympian gods and goddesses were portrayed in a form that was the way of Greek imagined them. So, scientific thought and philosophy. So, the Mesopotamian and Egyptian took the first step toward the creation of science. So, they observed events in nature and recorded them. So, improve their tools and technologies, and use mathematics in business and engineering. So they were not true scientific thinkers. However, because they assumed that the actions of gods and demons cause all natural events. So the Greek of Hellenistic age began to search for different ways to explain the nature. So the scientific thinkers explore many fields. So other Greek thinkers applied Thales' approach in several areas of study. So some of them had ideas that contributed to modern knowledge of scientific thinking. So Pythagoras, who lived in the 6th century BC, believed that the universe was arranged in according to mathematical laws. He studied music and astronomy and mathematics to find these laws or principles. So the Greek influenced modern scientific study. So the modern scientific approach about its beginning in the thinking of the Greek philosophers and scientists. So this way of thinking is based on observing nature, making logical education, and looking for proof and evidence. So the growth of scientific thinking did not did not end traditionally Greek religious practices. So many of Greeks, however, came to develop that physical events and human behavior could be explained by natural causes without referring to the actions of gods. So, learning continues in the Hellenistic age. So, the knowledge and culture of the Hellenistic age were preserved during the second stage of Greek civilization, the Hellenistic age. So, this period began 323 BC with the death of Alexander the Great. So, Alexander conquest inspired new learning. Many scientists and philosophers had accompanied Alexander expeditions to the Near East. So their travels gave them a vast amount of knowledge about plants, animals, geography, and astronomy. So the Greek also acquired new skills and ideas from the different people of the empire. Mathematics and astronomy from the Near East, and medical knowledge from Egypt. So, Alexandria is the center of Hellenistic culture. The city of Alexandria in Egypt had been founded by Alexander in 332 BC after his death. So, Egypt came under the rule of one of his generals. So, Ptolemy by 304 BC. So Ptolemy established a new dynasty whose rulers encouraged scholarship in scholarship in Alexandria. So they set up the greatest library and research center ancient world has known. So the library had about 500,000 books written on papyrus scrolls. So outstanding scholarship and scientists were invited to work in library and at Alexandria. So the scholars of the library collected important writings from all over the Greek world. So Hellenistic scientists discovered important principles. So besides gathering knowledge, the scientists at Alexandria was also made new important discoveries. So many still influence modern science. So a mathematician named Euclid organized earlier knowledge of geometry into a logical system. So, both Hellenic and Hellenistic philosophers believed they could use reason to discover rulers to explain the direct human conduct. So, in the Hellenic age, philosophers had been concerned particularly with the individual as a citizen of the polis. So, in the Hellenistic age, the Greek city-states were no longer the center of the political life. So both the Hellenic and Hellenistic philosophers believed they could use reasons to discover rulers to explain direct human conduct. So in the Hellenic age, philosophers had been concerned particularly with the individual as citizen of the polis. So in the Hellenistic age, the Greek city-states were no longer the center of the political life. So the Greek world grew larger and more complex as Greeks. So settled in other lands and exchanged ideas with other people. So, in his changing world, Hellenistic philosophers gave more thought to individual as an individual rather than as a member of community.